Picture this. It's a Friday night in Sydney. You've just landed your first real job. A proper one, with a salary and everything. After years of scraping by on casual shifts, instant noodles and overdrafts, you're finally getting paid actual money. And it feels incredible. So you do what almost every 22-year-old does. You move into a nicer apartment, you upgrade your car, you start going out for dinner instead of cooking at home, you buy the gym membership, the streaming subscriptions, the wardrobe refresh, and honestly, you deserve it. You worked hard to get here, but here's the thing nobody tells you in that moment. That feeling of, I've made it, that rush of finally being able to spend, is one of the most financially dangerous moments of your entire life. Not because spending is bad, but because of what you don't do while you're spending. And by the time most Aussies figure this out, they're in their 30s, staring at their bank account, wondering where the last decade went. So today, we're going to talk about the mistake, the one almost everyone makes, the one that looks completely normal, because everyone around you is making it too. Let's rewind for a second. There's a belief that most of us grow up with, and it goes something like this. Right now, I'm young and broke, but one day I'll earn more. And when I do, that's when I'll start getting serious about money. Sound familiar? We tell ourselves that saving and investing is something we'll do later, when we earn more, when life settles down, when we've had a bit of fun first. And that logic feels completely reasonable, right? Why deprive yourself now when you can just start fresh later? But there's a massive psychological trap buried inside that thinking. Because here's what actually happens. The income goes up, but so does the spending. And not just a little. For most people, their spending rises almost perfectly in line with their income, year after year, decade after decade. They go from earning $55,000 to $75,000 and think they'll save the difference. But somehow, life just fills the gap. The apartment gets bigger, the holidays get better, the car gets newer, the weekends get more expensive, and by the time they're earning $100,000 a year, they're just as broke at the end of each month as they were at $55,000. Economists have a name for this. They call it lifestyle inflation. But I want to call it what it actually is. A slow, comfortable, completely invisible leak in the bucket of your financial future. And in Australia, it is everywhere. Let me show you how this actually plays out. And I promise, the numbers here are going to make you feel things. Meet two people. Let's call them Jake and Mia. They're both 22. Both just started working. Both earning the same salary, $60,000 a year. Jake does what most people do. He enjoys his 20s. He spends pretty freely, upgrades his life as his income grows, tells himself he'll start investing properly when he's 30. He's not irresponsible. He's just normal. Mia does something slightly different. She's not extreme about it. She doesn't live like a monk, but from the age of 22, she sets aside $500 a month and puts it into a low-cost index fund that tracks the Australian share market. That's it. Just $500 a month. Jake hits 30, finally feels ready to get serious, and starts putting in $500 a month too. They both invest $500 a month until they're 65. Same amount, same investment. The only difference is Mia started 8 years earlier. Now, here's where this gets wild. By retirement age, Mia's portfolio is sitting at roughly $2.1 million. Jake's, around $1.1 million. Mia ends up with almost double the money, and she didn't work harder, earn more, or take bigger risks. She just started earlier. That gap, that extra $1 million, that's the price of waiting. That's the cost of, I'll start later. And this is the magic and the cruelty of compound interest at the same time, because it grows exponentially, not in a straight line. The early years aren't just important. They are disproportionately the most important years of your entire investing life. Warren Buffett, arguably the greatest investor who ever lived, made over 95% of his total wealth after the age of 65. Not because he suddenly got smarter, but because compound interest had been running for 50 years and was finally at full acceleration. Your 20s are the years that set that engine in motion. Or don't. Now, here's where the psychology gets really interesting. Why do we keep making this mistake? Even when the numbers are so obvious, there are actually two deep psychological forces working against us. And once you understand them, you'll see them everywhere. The first one is called present bias. Our brains are wired to value things that feel real and immediate, far more than things that feel distant and abstract. So, when you get a pay rise, the new apartment feels very real. The leather couch, the brunches, the weekend trips. All of that is immediate, tangible, and emotionally satisfying. Your retirement savings in 40 years, that's just a number on a screen. It doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel like you. Your future self is practically a stranger. And here's the dark part of that. Your brain literally processes your future self the same way it processes a stranger. There's a famous study from UCLA where researchers found that when people imagined their future self, the neural activity in their brain was nearly identical to when they thought about someone they'd never met. So when you choose between spending now and saving for your future self, you're not choosing between present you and future you. Psychologically, you're choosing between yourself and a stranger. And of course, you're going to choose yourself. The second force is called hedonic adaptation. This one is sneaky. Hedonic adaptation means that no matter what we buy or upgrade, we adapt to it almost immediately. The excitement fades. The thing that felt amazing at first becomes the new normal. You move into the nicer apartment. It feels incredible for about 3 weeks. Then, it's just where you live. You get the newer car. For a month, it makes you smile every time you get in. Then, it's just your car. So you upgrade again and again, always chasing that feeling, never quite catching it. Meanwhile, every single upgrade adds to your cost of living permanently. Your expenses go up, your ability to save goes down, and the gap between what you earn and what you keep, the gap that actually builds wealth, stays stubbornly, frustratingly small. The hedonic treadmill keeps moving, and most people spend their entire working lives running on it, never realizing it doesn't go anywhere. Now, there's a reason this hits especially hard in Australia. We live in one of the most expensive countries in the world. Sydney and Melbourne consistently rank among the priciest cities on the planet. The social culture here, the beach lifestyle, the cafe brunches, the weekend getaways, the treat-yourself mentality, is genuinely beautiful. And it's genuinely expensive. There's also a deep cultural script in Australia around property. Most young Aussies grow up being told the goal is to own a home. And while property can absolutely be part of a wealth-building strategy, chasing a home deposit often becomes an all-consuming goal that delays every other form of financial growth for years. You spend your entire 20s saving for a deposit. The market moves faster than you can save. You feel behind. You delay investing. You delay super contributions. And while you're staring at real estate listings, the share market has quietly compounded upward in the background. None of this is your fault. You were handed a financial playbook. Work hard, spend a bit, save for a house, maybe put some into super. And that playbook, while not wrong, has some very significant missing pages. Pages about index funds, about compound interest, about starting at 22 instead of 32, about the extraordinary, life-changing difference that a decade of early investing can make. So, what do you actually do with this? Because I'm not here to make you feel guilty about your morning coffee or tell you to never go on holiday. That's not the point. And frankly, that kind of advice doesn't work. Here's what actually moves the needle. First, pay yourself before you spend, not after. Not with whatever's left. The moment your pay hits your account, move a set amount to an investment account first. Treat it like rent. Non-negotiable. Even if it's $200 a month to start. There's a reason this works psychologically. It removes the decision. You never see the money sitting in your account waiting to be spent, so you never have to wrestle with the temptation. It just goes. Automatically. Second, define your own lifestyle flaw and defend it. When you get a pay rise, give yourself permission to upgrade your life, but not dollar for dollar with the raise. If you get an extra $500 a month, maybe $200 goes toward lifestyle, and $300 gets invested. Split the raise with your future self. That single habit, applied consistently through your 20s and 30s, is genuinely enough to change your financial trajectory completely. Third, understand what super actually is. Superannuation is one of the greatest wealth-building tools in the world, and most young Australians treat it like background noise. Your employer puts in 11.5%. You can add more. It compounds in a tax-advantaged environment for decades. It's not exciting. It doesn't make for a good Instagram post, but the 22-year-old who takes super seriously quietly becomes the 65-year-old who has real options in life. Even an extra $50 a month into your super from age 22 can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars by retirement, thanks to compounding. Fourth, don't wait until you understand everything. One of the biggest delays isn't laziness. It's the feeling that you need to know more before you start. The perfect time to learn is not before you start. It's while you're starting. A simple, low-cost index fund that tracks the ASX or a global market is not complicated. You don't need to be a finance expert. You need to begin. A rough plan you start today beats a perfect plan you never start. Here's the thought I want to leave you with. Your 20s will feel long while you're in them. And then one day, you'll blink and you'll be 35 and you'll have a very clear sense of the choices you made and the choices you didn't. The Aussies who build real wealth aren't smarter. They didn't earn more. They didn't get lucky on a crypto tip or crack a secret investment code. They just understood one thing earlier than everyone else. That time is the most valuable financial asset you will ever have. And it's the only one you cannot buy back. The best time to start investing was the day you got your first paycheck. The second best time is right now.